I'm going to start now. First of all, I love the new intro to these characters, but I'm going to be rating these characters on a very serious point scale as a very competitive Fire Emblem Heroes character. So first up, we start with Tyburn. Now, I'm going to move back to his look here because I think that's what's most important. No, excuse me, I'm moving back to his look. Here we go. Yeah. I'm rating by the lesbian scale here. So first of all, Tyburn is not exactly me a lesbian's type. He does have a roguish look and like a longer hair, like a mullet, which might doesn't really denote trans lesbianism. So I don't think Tyburn is really there for the sapphics, woman love woman solidarity. He's got a scar and then some swords, so people seem to be impressed by his stats, his 3 movement. He's got sturdy impact, initiate combat, grants +6 attack and +10 defense during combat, which sure is better than Death Blow 3 and probably better than Death Blow 4. And he has chill attack and even attack wave. Now, as a lesbian fodder for lesbian units, very great. He can go to lots of great lesbians like, I don't know, Nephany. Like you give some of that to Nephany. You can give a lot of these lesbian points to so many great characters. So in that sense, Tyburn isn't a garbage, useless character, but I would think that he basically gets 1 lesbian point out of 10. And that's it. Like, he's not really impressing me. I think he's kind of garbage, if I'm going to be honest. And the amount of lesbian points he has, he's not even close to good. Now, we have Ileana here, who's the Forest Song. Now, she is very beautiful, very cute. I quite like her look. She is adorable. So I'm living for that. Now, she's a 3 movement dancer, which is great because that lets her get close to girls faster and more easily. There's only a small problem in that she doesn't transform unless she's not near Bjork's, aka human units, or whatever. So they have to be non-human. They have to be dragon or beast. Otherwise, the beast units don't transform, which is anti-lesbian, and I think maybe a little bit less phobic from intelligence systems, if I'm going to be 200% honest. But still, there's plenty of hot beast girls that can come into the game. So she has that going for her, and additional, probably you can just live with her not transforming, because it looks like you can still do your singing and all that stuff if you're not transformed. So she'll still be able to function. It's just that she'll lose some of these extra great bonuses that she has. She has speed +3 on her weapon, which is fantastic. We love a fast lesbian here. She has 40 speed with that weapon equipped, which is amazing. Mirror stance and flyer formation, maybe you would think aren't the greatest skills, but flyer formation 3, that is to bring other lesbians to her. That gives her lesbian synergy. Now, I don't know with what girls, but there's probably going to be lots of great options. Maybe that Raven girl will come into the game from Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, and that will be really powerful synergy because then she'll give the Hone Beast bonus too. Other than that, her signature weapon is really great for characters who hurt themselves at the start of a turn. And it has a 2-space healing, so 7 at the start of the turn is actually amazing. She is just an ultimate lesbian support unit. She is a top-tier lesbian character. I don't think we can deny that. I don't think we can fight against that. I think we need to just be honest with ourselves. This is top-tier lesbianism at its finest. Now we have the White Prince, Ryson. And, he's a very pretty boy, but a pretty boy, not a lesbian make. A lesbian is a lesbian, which is any person that identifies as a lesbian, but I don't think Ryson does. I'm pretty sure he's man love woman solidarity, which is good. And maybe Tyburn from earlier, since, him and, Ryson are very close. Probably dating. I can't confirm that. I don't know much about men. I don't speak their language. I forgot the ancient ways of men to transition my body into this hotness using a ritual. So I can't really tell. But what I can say is definitely not vibing totally with Ryson, but I do think Ryson is better than his boyfriend in terms of lesbian points. He's a three movement singer, which, is great. Man love man, woman love woman solidarity if you need to. He can run there and help. He's got three movement singing. He's got the heroin wing ability, which also does that healing, just like his sister. So he's good, and he has fortify, so he can get you defensive because he gives lesbians words of encouragement. You see, he says like, "Don't worry about it, bae. You got this. You deserve another great woman with you," and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I didn't rate Leanne. I just realized I didn't rate Leanne. Retroactively rewind time. Let's just rewind time a little bit. Like pretend that I didn't fuck up. Whoa, Leanne, she's dancing Anna. She gets 8 lesbians out of 10. Not perfect, but she's a very good lesbian. Anyway, Ryson, he gets the fantastic score of 3 lesbians out of 10. He's doing pretty good for himself in terms of lesbian points, and honestly, he shouldn't have expected any more than this. Now there's the Queen Naliah, unflinching eye, the Wolf Queen, the reason I'm here, the reason we're all here. She died for our sins. Now they don't show her stats because she must be the greatest character ever released in Fire Emblem Heroes. In fact, I can confirm this by going into the ratings. So first of all, you can go back. We can look at her design. We can look over there. We can look at her. You can look at the art posted here or in a video, whatever I'm doing. I don't know. But look at her. This is a sapphic form. This is a body made for women who love women. She buff. She's strong. She got an eye patch going on, But it's like femi too. It's got the femi vibe. She has a beautiful tail. Wolf girls. We all know that like 90% of trans lesbian furries are wolf girls. So, it's great. It's, I say 90%, but it's probably like less than hyenas. Hyenas are like 232% of trans furries. But regardless, there is no hyena Laguz. So as close as you can get is Ileana, who has distant counter on her, right? Look at her. She's beautiful. She has a beautiful wolf too. Like, that's a wolf that you would not mind being your lifelong friend, your like canine companion. But it turns out she turns into a hot girl, and she's not a girl that you would mind having be your wife. Or just one of her harem. I would gladly be one of her like 32 lovers, which I'm sure she has. She has. She's probably bisexual. I feel like she has some bi energy going. And that does not stop you from getting a perfect lesbian score or beyond it. I will tell you that. It doesn't stop. Self-identification and lesbian score are not necessarily coexisting. So this doesn't give her plus movement. Instead, it just makes her stronger. Because she's a straight bitch who will kill you. And that is great. It's fucking fantastic. She doesn't just have distant counter. She has Moonbow, which is fine. I have a lot of Moonbow fodder, so personally, I wouldn't be excited about that. Plus, I never fought her Queen Naliah. I would probably just merge her to plus 10. And then if I got 10 of her, I would probably merge the next one into plus 10. I would need 40 Naliahs to be satisfied, I think, in the amount of Naliahs I have. She also has Null C Disrupt, which it neutralizes status effects and disables skills that prevent counterattacks during combat, which pretty much just lets her say, like, hey, you don't want to be hurt. Well, too bad. I'm the fucking queen. She's the fucking queen. And that's a great skill. And if you fodder her off and give it to someone else, you're a monster. You're a monster if you put that skill on someone else. So I'm watching you. If I see any unit with Null C Disrupt, I will destroy them in Aether raids. I will make sure to destroy everything they have. Lower that lift. I won't allow it. In Glare, seems like a pretty cool skill. I don't know that it's necessarily the best skill for her, but it is from the Radiant Dawn games, which is great. And I love a good reference here. When units attacked, inflict status on the target and foes within one space of the target, restricting its movement to 1. through their turn. So basically, it's like a spread stun of gravity, making the units not able to move to get to the other units, which is fantastic. It's a really great C skill for her. So I definitely think this is a great skill that you can take into any mode of the game and find great ways to abuse it. And the same with this encounter. She's a really great character for story maps, probably for like harder challenge maps. Like the harder content in the game. Not even like maybe not necessarily infernal like legendary hero battles and stuff, but like legendary hero battles. She's gonna be really good in them. And I think that it's gonna be really strong. And when there's more beast units to like make a beast emblem team around, she'll probably be insanely powerful there. But I think she's good even with infantry solidarity. And during combat, with her weapon, she gets a special trigger cooldown, so like her Moonbow's a 1-turn proc, but you can put her with a stronger skill that'll play to her other stats. During combat, boost units' attack and speed by the number of allies within 2 spaces, times 2. So basically, she's surrounded by friendos. She gets attack and speed times 2, which is like, right, if there's 1, she has plus 2. 2, she has 4. And 3, she has 6. And if there's 4, like in Aether Raids, or potentially even 5, that could be, right, 5 times 2 is 10. Now plus 10 attack. And does it in combat buff? Okay, it says plus max plus 6. So they did limit it. But plus 6 is still a lot. If you think of it like a 20 might weapon and those points, which is amazing. At the start of a turn, if this unit's adjacent to only other beasts or dragons, or if this unit is not adjacent to an ally, it transforms. Otherwise, it reverts. If unit transforms, it gets plus 2 attack and deals plus 10 damage when special triggers. So even without the beast form, she is amazing. But if she's transformed, she does another 2 strength, and that's a visible buff, I believe. So she'll have that 2 base strength added to her, and that will be like canceled out if she has like hones or whatever, because it will be a smaller buff. But if she's alone and you're pairing it with like, I don't know, even speed wave or just keeping glare on, that's plus 2 attack, plus 10 on the special trigger, plus 1 cooldown. She can be dealing massive amounts of damage. And what's more lesbian than massive amounts of damage on a buff, dark-skinned wolf girl? I cannot tell you what's more lesbian than that. Look at that. Her battle animation, everything about her is just perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and say that it's a 10 out of 10. Ultimate lesbian. I need to take that back. She gets 2 rainbows out of 10. She goes beyond 10. She has 2 rainbows out of 10. She's double gay. She's double maximum lesbian. I cannot rave enough. Now, this is not a builds video. On a builds video, I would tell you how to pair up units for ultimate lesbian compatibility. But unfortunately, I can't do that right now. Unfortunately, I don't know the stats. And I don't know the potential ships I would want to sail currently. It might be best to wait for other beast. I don't know. I might just decide, like, let's go with what I can work with. But you'll see that in a different video or podcast-like thing. So have a lovely day. Thank you for tuning into my Sapphisticated review. This is Alexis Sarah, your queen, your goddess, the light, the only truth. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely, lovely day.